Welcome to Mission Snapshot. It is so good to be back on air and meeting with you guys. We're sorry that we were not able to present any Mission Snapshot episodes while the team was away for Faith Camp. They were very busy. There was lots going on, and it was a blessed event. But we're back now, and we're so excited. So today, as you can see, Sharon is not here. She is on vacation this week. So I will be hosting, and I have Hannah with me in the studio today. She is going to be sharing a wonderful story with us. So let's get started. Hannah, what do you have for us?
Okay, so today we're going to be talking about one of our newer projects, which is just in brief, like basically reopening some churches in Bangladesh, which is a new country, relatively new country for us.
Nice.
And so that's really exciting. So I guess I'll start by sharing a little bit about like how we got started with this project.
Okay.
So we learned originally about a problem that a lot of Bangladeshi people have trouble getting clean water. They have wells, but they're like only 50, 60 feet deep. And so it's not deep enough for the contaminants like arsenic and other like
It wasn't getting filtered
poisons
properly.
and metals. Yeah,
Right.
It wasn't getting filtered properly, so it was making a lot of the people sick.
Oh,
And
wow.
so then their only other option is to use the dirty, scummy pond water to wash their dishes and to take baths and to wash their hands even. And so anyway, so we found out about this need and sent a team over of missionaries from the Philippines actually to come and oversee the project and help make sure that the wells all got built. And so we built 13 wells. We actually have a JFA Now show, so if you want to learn more about that project and the need and the impact, the impact that the
Clean
wells
water.
are able to
Nice.
have, you can watch that JFA Now show. I believe Maddie will be putting a link to that.
Yeah, so Madison is doing our computer day. I forgot to mention that, but she will be updating comments and links. So yeah, she will put a link in there for that show.
Yeah. So while the missionaries were there helping with the well project, they also did some medical mission work and some like basically health training to teach people like easy ways that they can be more healthy. And so while they were there doing the health training, they did it at some local churches.
Okay.
But a lot of the churches they found out when they were there were closed.
Oh, no.
And so out of the 24 churches in that kind of area that they were in, 22 of them were closed.
Oh, wow.
And they had been closed for about 15 years.
Oh, my.
Which is a really long time. And it wasn't because the buildings were falling down or because people didn't necessarily, weren't interested in coming to the church. But basically what happened is the people who built the churches started a project to fund them for the first 5 years. And then once the project was finished, they handed it over to the local church leadership. But because a lot of people in Bangladesh are really poor, they didn't have enough tithes coming in to pay for the pastors anymore.
Oh, okay.
So they had a lot of people coming in that were really interested and excited, but because they're relatively new Christians, they don't have the knowledge really to be able to just run the churches by themselves. So with no one to take care of them, they gradually just all closed.
So this picture I just changed to is showing how full the churches can be. That many people interested in coming. They really want that influence in their villages, but they just didn't have enough leadership and guidance to keep it up.
Yeah, so some people just stopped coming to church altogether. Some of them started going to other denominations' churches because they still wanted to worship.
Gotcha.
And they didn't really have anything. And so that's how full the churches used to be. And so that's the pictures during the health clinic that they had.
Right.
And so the pastors shared, the pastors that are in the leadership positions, not local pastors.
Right,
But
okay.
they shared that that many people would come again if it was open. So that was super inspiring because we would like to be able to help them,
Right.
get opened once again. And so while the missionaries were there, their translator expressed that he really wanted his church and his village to be opened again. And so they spoke to him, and we talked to him as well. And he decided that he would be willing to give up his good accounting job to become a Bible worker so that his church can be opened again.
Wonderful.
And so, yeah, his church had been closed just like the others for 15 years. And so we have a picture of one of their first Sabbaths back in church.
Awesome.
And it's super exciting that like the people can have somewhere to worship again. And so on other days of the week, what the Bible worker is doing is he's going around and giving people Bible studies, and he's also inviting the old church members to come back again.
Nice.
And so now they're able to like grow, and it's really exciting.
Spreading the word that the church is open. Open for business. Yay.
Yeah. So it's really awesome to be able to see the growth and the impact. And so we would like to do that with the 21 other churches that are still closed. And so we've started doing them one at a time.
Okay.
And so this next church, it doesn't quite show in the picture, but it's basically like a place where people just like let their goats hang out. And
nice.
they use the inside of the church to like dry rice and different things.
Okay.
It's just kind of sitting there, and it's kind of, this particular one was a little bit more damaged because of like, it just hadn't lasted as well as some of the other churches. And we had planned to do repairs on all of the churches, and had been given kind of a price that it was going to be to repair them. But when we started to work on this church, or to get ready to work on this church, the church leaders said, it's not safe to do this. We're going to have to just completely rebuild it.
So here's a picture of just some of the inside. You can see how damaged it is from the walls. The floor is really damaged. So it would take just as much to fix that as just building something new?
Yeah, that's what they said. And we were worried that it was going to be way more expensive, because you're like thinking, a totally new building. But we talked with them, and they were able to figure out some different materials to make it out of. Okay. And the price ended up being exactly the same. Oh, wow. Which is a huge answer to prayer and a huge blessing. Yeah. And on top of that, another way that God provided for this church was that a church member actually was willing to donate land to put the church on, wonderful. Which these people already don't have a lot of money. They're just in small villages, and so for someone to be willing to donate that property and to give up something that they have so little of to like further God's work is just really incredible.
That's amazing.
And so it's super awesome, and you can tell like by the way that God is working that he's something that he's opening doors for. He's moving forward. He's excited for these people to have the opportunity to be able to worship together again, and for the churches to grow. Yeah. And for the gospel to be spread in these areas. And it's super exciting. So we have some pictures of the construction of the new church. Nice. So it's really exciting. This is kind of like towards the beginning, and now they've gotten a lot more of it done.
Yeah, so this picture you can definitely see the main structure and how it's coming together, and so yeah, that's neat.
Yeah, so it's really cool. And we've seen before when we've worked in India that if you put effort into repairing buildings that are already there, and if you hire Bible workers like we did for the first church, and also for this church, actually the original pastor from 15 years ago said he would be willing to come and be a Bible worker, so then he can pastor that church again, which was super cool. And it's just super awesome that these buildings are already there basically, and there's already a basis, and just when love and care is put into them, they can
Yeah.
they can thrive. We've seen it happen other places, and we're so excited to see it happen here too.
Yeah. Well, that'll be amazing to see as we get further along, one church at a time, just to watch all of them slowly revive and be a blessing to the villages. And yeah, that'll be amazing. Well, thank you for sharing with us about this wonderful project in Bangladesh. And we are excited to see what else is coming. I'm sure there will be many, many more updates as the projects continue. And we just thank you so much, guys, for joining us today. We will have another link, I think, put in the comments so that you can find out more about this project. And keep in mind, if you would like to learn more about any of our other projects as well, you can always go to jesusforasia.org. And click on our featured project or our projects link there, and you can find out more about all kinds of things that we are involved in and how we're trying to help others learn about Jesus. So please feel free to visit our website. And also, if you are on YouTube, don't forget to go to our channel and click subscribe, or on Facebook, like our page so that you can get updates about future Mission Snapshot episodes, as well as other things that we have going on. We would love to share with you guys. Thank you so much for joining us today for another episode of Mission Snapshot.